with Intention, podcast where we bring you stories from around the globe. Hello and welcome to another episode on Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And today I have a beautiful guest, Alice Dartnell, and she's with us today to share her inspiring story. So welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really excited for this.
Thank you so much for being here. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are currently in this world, and anything you want to share with us, of course.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be speaking to your listeners today. So I'm actually dialing in today from Cambodia. So you can probably tell from my accent, guys, I'm not from here. I'm actually English, but yeah, I'm kind of currently accidentally living in Cambodia at the moment. And yeah, so calling in from a very hot and sweaty place. So yeah, so what do I do? Oh my God, so much. So predominantly, I'm a coach. I specialize in time management and energy management. Um, and for me, that's really important because time management isn't just about managing time, it's also about managing you and your energy. And I predominantly do coaching, but I also do things like speaking, keynote speeches, workshops, trainings. I run my own coaching programs and do writing. I've co-authored a book and hopefully going to be writing my own soon. So yeah, lots of different things going on in my world.
That's super exciting. I can't wait to hear more. This is amazing to talk to you all the way from Cambodia, and I am currently in Canada, so
I know.
quite a bit far away from you. But this is so exciting. And Alice here is also in the collaboration book called The Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs Living Fearlessly. So please tell us what inspired you to join this collaboration book in the first place?
Yeah, do you know what? There was lots of different things that inspired me to join this book. From my own personal perspective, I really want to write some books. I want to write books around uh, using time management for energy management. I want to write a book on like time management tips for ADHDers. There's so many different books that I want to write, but it's quite a big process to just jump in and write your own book. I'm also severely dyslexic, so reading and writing is actually quite difficult for me. So when I saw this opportunity for a book collaboration, I was like, oh, okay, this could be like a really good way to like test to see if I do want to become an author. But also my story shares my journey, I suppose, from the day that my husband unexpectedly walked out on me and my divorce and to where I am now. And the whole point of this book was how female entrepreneurs have triumphed over something, over something that's happened in their life. And, no one goes into their wedding day thinking they're going to get a divorce, but so many of us do. And I think there's still a bit of a stigma around it. I know I definitely felt that sense of failure and oh my God, what do I tell people and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, I'm not the only woman or man, going through this, and let's unite. Let's share the story. Let me share my story, and hopefully that can offer a little bit of hope to somebody else. So yeah, they're kind of my lots of reasons, but they're my two main reasons why I wanted to be a part of this.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the divorce, and I kind of know, because even I was married at one point, and same thing. Did I ever imagine that it's gonna end one day? No, but sometimes things happen, right? But
Yeah.
you kind of have to pick up the pieces and keep going, as they say, right? So how did embracing transformation in your personal or professional life unlock new opportunities for growth and success for you?
What in regards to writing the book, or in regards to like the divorce?
The book.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just given me like confidence, I suppose, that I really enjoyed the process. So I think having a goal is really good. Um, an end goal of like producing a book, but I also think you need to enjoy the process as well. And I used to be so bad at this. I used to be like, just get me to the goal. Like, I was really bad at enjoying the journey, but I really enjoyed the journey and the process of, creating the ideas and the chapters and editing it and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's given me a lot of insight, excitement. And now, as I say, it's like, oh, I do want to write my own book. And also I can. So I've always really been big on not letting anything get in your way. So, for example, with the dyslexia, rather than just going, oh, well, I struggle with reading and writing, so I won't even contemplate writing a book. For me, it was like, okay, this might be a little bit harder for me, but I'm still going to do it. And writing this kind of chapter in a collaboration book is good proof for that. So I think it's massively helped me in that way.
Wow, that's amazing. So going a little bit more in depth with this, many women fear taking risks in business. What advice would you give to those who are hesitant to step out of their comfort zone? And
Oh, so good. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's risks is such like an interesting thing because the magnitude and the size of the risk really is dependent on how we're viewing it. And what one person deems as risky really might not be something that someone else even like contemplates, it's just like it's really dependent on the person. And but what I would say is nothing happens if you don't push yourself. Like if you stay within your comfort zone, you are not going to get the beauty on the other side of it, of like whatever it is you're after. And you've got to learn to keep pushing that comfort zone. But you don't have to go from 0 to 100. Like just do one little thing today that is going to push your comfort zone. Maybe it's going live on Instagram, or maybe it's doing a podcast, or maybe it's reaching out to somebody. What's that one little thing that's just going to take you up? And I think it's really easy as business owners to look at people that have gone before us and go, oh, I could never do that. But they're like 10 years down the line or even a year down the line. So you just got to push his comfort zone like bit by bit. And one of the things that I do with my clients actually on like a real practical basis is if you're worried about something, write it out, list it out. What is worrying you? Because sometimes, if not most of the time, it is just in our heads. And actually, in reality, it's not that scary or not that risky or whatever. And if it is, then you can start thinking of solutions to mitigate that risk. And so, yeah, that would be my kind of biggest advice for people because I get it. It is scary. And I'm really, really big on neuroscience and understanding how the brain works. And when we're only ever born with two fears, the fear of loud noises and the fear of being dropped. So all the other fears that we have are kind of like man-made and self-created. So actually, if you're fearing something because of the risk or got to get out of my comfort zone, actually like what actually is that fear? Because yeah, it's all made up like in ourselves and in our own head. So, unlocking that, then you can start pushing your comfort zone.
exactly. And you've been on the Action Takers Publishing Zoom a few times. I've seen you. And so collaboration, I feel, is often key to success.
Yeah.
So how has connections with other female entrepreneurs in the book or outside influenced your own journey, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that's such a good topic because I think when people go into business as well, there's that sense of competition. If you've ever studied business, like when I was at uni and I studied business, it was like, analyze your competitors. Like even that language is just, competitors. But I'm really, really big on collaboration, not competition. And I much prefer like a collective, like a what can we learn from each other or what can we help one another with? And even if you met somebody who was exactly the same niche or has exactly the same client audience, whatever, same as you, you're never going to be exactly the same because like both of you are so unique in what you're doing and what you're saying and your experiences and how you help people and stuff like that. So for me, like the whole collaboration piece has been so important. I think as business owners, it can be lonely. You're on your own, stuff happens, good, bad, things that you're unsure of. So for me, collaboration has always been about not just working together with projects, but kind of sharing ideas or insights or I was sharing with you before we jumped on this podcast, I've been hacked and, my emails and my Facebook, like that was so stressful yesterday. But just having that solitude of other business owners reaching out to me and going, oh my God, are you okay? Or, this happened to a friend and they got it back. So have faith, all those kind of just little things for me, that's part of collaboration as well. And it just helps grow your confidence and yeah, just kind of feel like you can do it.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Even myself, like I never seen myself going into writing collaboration books, though writing was something on my mind because I wanted to share my travel stories before. But like literally over a decade went by and I'm like, and then all of a sudden I started joining different circles. And at first I was like a little bit scared. And it's like,
Yeah,
and then not, nah, I didn't know what to expect. When I wrote my first book, I was like a deer in the headlights, sorry, collaboration book. But then you do the second one, third one, you start reaching out to more people. You find
yeah,
there's a lot more people like you who do start somewhere, and then we watch each other grow, and then a year goes by, you maybe haven't seen them, and then all of a sudden you meet up again. It's like, oh my God, you have so grown so much. And then you meet so many interesting people in the process too. Like, because I mean, we have interesting people, around us in day to day, but the thing is, in my environment, I actually don't have many that study personal development. They're just busy with
mm,
their thing. So when I start talking about, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, or whatever, they're like, who? Where? So it's nice to be able in that
yeah,
collaboration environment to grow and expand. And I love it. Like
yeah,
every day, I'm just excited to see who I'm gonna meet next. Like yourself, you're in Cambodia, one place I'd love to visit one day, and I'm sure you have so many amazing travel stories as well, So yeah, I
yeah.
find it's so much fun and inspiring at the same time.
Yeah. And I think you're right. That's cool as well, isn't it? Like, how cool is it that you're in Canada and I'm in Cambodia, and we can still connect and we can still support one another? And there's going to be similarities because we're both in business, but there's also going to be like stark contrasts because we're living on opposite ends of the world and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool as well that you can share these insights with one another. I just think that's really cool. Like we're such an interconnected world nowadays as well. And then that just can, for me, that's a good thing. Like we
Yeah.
can help foster that collaboration.
Exactly. So, can you share a story from the book, or it doesn't have to be, that particularly resonated with you and why it left a lasting impact? So, is there a story you like to share either from the book or your personal life that really left an impact on your heart and soul in the past?
Yeah, so in the book, I talk about the chapter's called The Four Words That Changed My Life. And this was me just, on a Saturday, about to make fajitas for date night. And then my husband walked downstairs and just said, I want a divorce. And it was like, what? Like, you just, number one, you don't expect to hear those words ever when you get married. But number two, it just really came out of the blue for me. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. Woke up that morning, went to the gym. It was a Saturday. We're going to have fajitas for date night. We were during lockdown. This was like 2020. Um, and yeah, just in that split second, my whole life just changed. Like literally, one minute I'm prepping chicken, the next minute it's devastation. And looking back on that experience, sometimes it feels like a different person because I am a different person. I've grown so much through it. And I think one of the big things that I learned through that I've taken as a valuable lesson for myself going forward is that you cannot choose or determine everything that happens to you, but you can choose your next steps. So when all that happened, I had no idea what was going to happen for me next. I had no idea about my future. You're scared, you feel like a failure, like all these things that are going through your head. England were in and out of lockdown as well. Like it was just a confusing, scary time. And the thing that I vowed to myself is like, whatever happens, but if we get divorced, if we get back together, if whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. And trying to curate that level of faith and trust in myself that whatever happens, I've got this. And to know as well that I can get over this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough journey, but at the end of the day, I will get through it. And I cannot change how he behaves, or I cannot dictate if we get back together or not. But I can dictate my next steps and I can choose what I want to do. So when the divorce came through, I was like, right, I have choices here. Obviously, this is a painful experience, but I don't want it to like ruin me. And I know that sometimes these kind of bad experiences, whether that's divorce or whatever, can really, really derail people. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So I decided that I was going to take action and do things that I wanted to do, not because I was like trying to master the pain or anything like that, but I do believe turning pain into power and just, as I say, choose your next steps. So I ended up going to Valencia to learn Spanish. And I was there for 8 months. Absolutely loved it. Now, unfortunately, visa rules for the UK have changed, so I couldn't stay there. And I ended up going traveling with one of my oldest school friends for 3 months around South America. And then because of that, I was like, do you know what? I'm not actually ready to go back to London yet. So I was going to head to Bali. And that's when my parents were like, well, if you're going to Bali, why don't you come to Cambodia and see us? My mum and dad have been here for quite a while. And I was like, okay, yeah, I've got an online business. I can work anywhere. I'll come to Cambodia on the way to Bali for a few months. And that was over a year ago. And I'm kind of still knocking about Cambodia as well as traveling to some other places and back to the UK, etc. But yeah, kind of accidentally living here. So it's like I can't choose what happens to me, the bad things that happen, but I can choose my next steps. And that has become such a solid belief for me now, not just, the divorce was a couple of years ago now. So it's not just in relation to the divorce, but, you know, anything like with the hacking yesterday, I'm like, oh, that is so stressful. But I'm like, can't choose that what happened to me, but I can choose my next step. So it's just a kind of valuable ethos that I'm like taking through the rest of my life now.
Yeah. Wow. So in general, as a coach also, what strategies did you maybe use aside from that, like, or would you recommend to somebody to use when they face a setback? Is there anything specific you recommend?
Yeah, so much to be honest, lovely. But I think for me, it was things like um mindset, mindset being really powerful and just working on things like my mindset, my energy, being mindful of the language that I was using. I didn't want to play myself as a victim. Um, Also, that kind of like hope in the future, like making sure that I had something to look forward to and I had a purpose as well. So every day I would wake up and I would work on something for me in my future, like my business or making plans to go to Valencia or something. Because I think when you've got that future vision and that hope, or as Simon Sinek would say, knowing your why, like that's what's going to get your butt out of bed in the morning when you're going through a difficult time or whatever. And also just keep working on you, that personal development that, like you're saying, listening to things like Bob Proctor or whatever, whoever your chosen
Yeah.
guru is that you want to listen to, but just making sure that you're working on you, mind, body, soul. I worked with a PT because I think strong body, strong mind. And, every day I was reading positive things, listening to stuff to help me like manifest law of attraction, just working on my energy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And if anyone's listening to this and going, oh God, that sounds like hard work, yeah, it is. But I'm really, really big on like doing the hard things in life, like makes life easier. So doing that groundwork has made my life easier now. Whereas if I hadn't bothered to do that and I just, masked the pain and was like, oh, I'll just bury my head in the sand, guarantee like that would come to like bite me in the ass later. But because I've done so much like healing and, worked on myself. So I think it's so important. So yeah, I know there's lots of different things there, but I don't think there's like one magic pill
Mm-hmm.
or golden bullet. I think it's a collection of all those things that help me like get through it and get to where I am today.
Yeah, and I totally agree. They could be, different things because, there's different things, different kind of setbacks too, right? So you kind of
Yeah,
have to, go accordingly. Like I journal sometimes, depends what it is. There's times I have to
yeah,
sit down and actually journal. There's other times where I feel like I just have to sit still in nature.
yeah,
And I actually just did that just before coming on. I was just sitting in the yard and just embracing nature and,
yeah,
feeling the gratitude for, so it really
yeah,
depends what you but yeah, last thing I would want to do is being that victim, feeling like a victim, because things happen, and we just have to work with our mindset and the tools at hand, right? So I
Yeah,
strongly
yeah,
believe in that. So
yeah,
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
yeah,
How do you hope Unstoppable, because you are #1 international bestseller, how do you hope this book will inspire the people that read, or the next generation of female entrepreneurs, to pursue their passion fearlessly?
yeah. So I've really, from day one of starting my business, I've really wanted to be honest about the ups and downs of the journey. I think it's really easy to look at other people and only see the highlights, and in social media only see the good stuff. So I wanted to be really honest with everything in my past, my present, my future. And for me, I hope that this book demonstrates a little bit of that honesty, but also a little bit of hope. So I'm really big on just, my life is not perfect. This is like some of the stuff that's happened to me. And as I said, I'm not the only one to have gone through that. And, you know, loads of people will. So it's obviously a very relatable story. But I'm hoping as well that if someone is going through something difficult, doesn't have to be divorce, but if someone's going through something difficult, they can read that story as like a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of hope that we can get through tough things, whether that's in our personal life or professionally. And I think sometimes as business owners, that can be really difficult because we are our business. How we show up every day impacts our business. So when you're going through something really difficult in your personal life, it can overspill into your business. But I want to also show people like you can use that pain for power and you can use that for good. Like in my business, the second year, my business income doubled from my first year, despite going through all that. So, there is hope. You can do it. And I just hope that the book and the chapter just offers that little bit of inspiration for people.
Wow, that's amazing. And it is available on Amazon, and we will share the links in this video for you to connect with Alice, whether you want to talk to her. Do you have a YouTube channel? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to launch one actually. So yeah, depending obviously when the podcast goes live, but yeah, I will be launching a YouTube channel very, very soon. But I predominantly hang out on Instagram. So it's just my name, Alice_Dartnell. Come find me. Yeah, I love connecting with people, as I said, collaboration and connection. So come say hi.
Of course. So we'll share all those links in this video, how to get in touch, and also the links to for Amazon. And do you have anything that you offer your clients for free, perhaps? Is there anything you offer?
Yeah, I've always got some good like freebies on offer and trainings and set and stuff like that. And if anyone wants to book in a free call with me, I run something called an action planning call because one of the things that I specialize in brand time management is, taking action, beating procrastination, shiny object syndrome, overwhelm, all that kind of things that those as business owners sometimes succumb to. So, hop on a call with me. I'd love to help kick you into action and get you going. And whether you're going through adversity or not at the moment, we could all do with a little helping hand sometimes. So yeah, jump on a call.
There you go. See, all the help is everywhere. So you just have to reach out, right?
Yeah.
So reflecting on this theme of this podcast, which is Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. Now, this is a long question, but how do you believe setting daily intentions and maintaining focus can help women rise above challenges and thrive in their personal and professional lives?
Oh my God, I
It's a
could
loaded
not
one. I'm
agree
sorry.
more. No, I could not agree more. So I'm really, really big on setting intentions. I'm always saying to my clients, we have to be intentional. And I mean that on so many different levels. Like, first of all, that kind of intentional energy, what are you putting out so that you know what to receive back, but also just being intentional with things like your time. When you go to sit down to do something, the more intentional you are, the more focus you have, the more energy you have. Like, what is your intention behind the thing that you're doing? And I'm so big on that. So every morning I like to set my intentions for the day, but also before every task. Like, what am I hoping to achieve? What do I want to give? How do I want to be? Setting that intention, it might just only take like 4 seconds in your head just to go, oh, my intention is dot dot dot. But it just you always get so much more out of it. Like before every client call, I'm like, right, what is my intention for my client? And it just always leads to a better session. So yeah, if anyone's hesitant on that, I'd say like always set an intention before everything that you do.
Exactly. And I love that. You inspire me. And it's such a great reminder because, we do get busy with our days and, some of us have two, three kids and whatever else going on in life. So it is so important to stop to set that intention for whatever you're gonna do next. So I absolutely love that. You're such an inspiration here. Thank you so much for
Oh,
being
thank
on our
you.
show. It's I hope we cross paths again, and it's so nice to hear your stories, your inspiration. Thank you so much for coming out once again. We will post all the information in this video for you. So thank you so much for being with us today, and have a wonderful day, everyone.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye, everyone.